And while I was watching the lathe go around and around and daydreaming about things, I got to thinking, I don't know how the heck I'm going to cut a keyway on this thing now. Because having this entire rotor stuck in the milling attachment for this lathe is not going to be fun. So I have an idea. I think I'm going to go ahead and set up the steady rest down here and drill and tap the end of this shaft, and that way I can make me a pipe or bushing or whatever you want to call it that goes over and sits on this, and I can tighten up that bolt and pop that shaft out of there. I'm sorry you're so far back there. I'd like to get you up close, but the tripod was in the way, so you're off over there, but you get the idea, right? Really? Yeah. That's too tight. I don't know which one is too tight, but one of them's too tight. I'm going to venture a guess it's the top one. Alright, I think we're cruising now. Got some nice, say decent chips coming out with that drill bit. So, I'll just finish drilling that hole. I don't have much for selection for 1/2-inch fine thread taps, but got the lathe in back gear, and I'm just going to pull on the tailstock. The tailstock is not bolted down back here, and just pull on it and see if this thing will start and go. Oh, nope. It's not going to grip in there, huh? Well, that's interesting. I think I need a new chuck. It's getting really stiff, just the internal mechanisms of it, and the taper has some pretty good grooves in it where, from spinning over the years. So I think I need to order a new one. Alright, come on, you little humbucker. Hold it by hand. Oh, nope, there it went. Well, it doesn't feel like it's that bad, so I think I'll start hand cranking from there. I'll let the wrench sit there and pull on the tailstock to keep it centered, and we'll see how bad of an idea this is. That tap feels really sharp. It's cutting. It's going pretty good. That's a little stiff. It's not bad though. I got the lathe in back gear, and I'm just pulling the pulley on the jack shaft, idler shaft, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's cutting really nice. Go ahead and film it all in case I break the dang thing off in there. The reason I'm pulling on the tailstock, pulling it forward, keeping that center in there, is so the wrench, when it leverages the wrench, it doesn't pull up on that tap near as bad, allow it to flex. If I was a bit braver of a man, I would power it, but yeah, I don't want to break that off in this piece, considering how many hours I have in it. Oh, my arm's going to get tired. Ay, ay, ay. Talk about making me nervous. Power out. I'm really nervous about this. I don't know if I told that in the video or not, but I was making a Morris taper adapter here recently, and I went to power out the tap like that, and I accidentally kicked the lathe forward instead of reverse, and yeah, broke the tap. I could not get it out of there. I think only once before in my life have I not ever been able to get a tap out. And I had about 3 hours invested in that part already when I broke the tap out. I was so mad. Oh, I spent a couple more hours trying to get the tap out. But I didn't. Well, I really think that's far enough. I don't have much selection for 1/2-inch fine thread bolts either. Ooh, that's going in nice. That's a really good tap. Sweet. I think I'm going to reach in here with a lathe and take a skim cut on that. Hopefully not hit that copper wire right there. That's awful close. Just see if I can't clean that up and get a nice surface there on the actual rotor. I think I'll spin the lathe by hand, that way I don't crash into this copper and other stuff here. Just try to scrape that stuff off. 'Cause that glue has a purpose. So I don't want to get rid of all of it. Yeah. I have to find a little something different to get in there and see how this works. There we go. I like that. That's a good clean surface. Good enough. After 20 minutes of searching the shop over, I finally found this piece of pipe. That's the right size. That's got a nice pipe cut, cut with a pipe cutter, so it should be square. Leave that end alone. And I'll have to trim it down the length. I found these washers. They're like 5/8 inside diameter and big enough to go over the pipe. And I got this little spacer here. It's 1/2 inch. Well, it's just barely over 1/2 inch. And bigger than the head of the bolt. So that should work as a stack. I got it screwed in all the way. So I'm going to measure that. If I should use the air gun or not. Be easier. I don't have enough air hose. Come on, a couple more inches. That's all I need. There we go. Bink. Wow, that was in there. All right, hooray. The shaft is out. That pipe was dirty. Well, that is definitely enough for today. I'm setting up the milling attachment. Getting ready to indicate it. And I'm also looking for a hub to put on here so I can make sure my keyway is right. And we're going to get ready to mill the keyway in this thing. By the way, it's out of the generator, but yeah, you already know that. It's a cold one out there, YouTube. Winter might finally be here. We're into January, and this is the first day we've had of single-digit weather. It was 4 degrees out this morning. It's Fahrenheit. But considering it's January and that's the first day we've gotten down to that cold, that's kind of unusual. But El Nino year. Found this hub. This is the one I'm going to use to test the keyway, just a 1-inch welded hub. And that is an absolute perfect fit. I am just completely tickled. I got that right. Yay! Something went right in this project. But I was looking through my pulley collection, and I'm getting kind of down on pulleys, and I get some more ordered. And I found this thing, and I had to bring it in because this thing is an absolute beast of a pulley. I mean, this is, you know, cast steel or cast iron or something. Probably cast steel. No, it's not. It's machined. Yeah, I can see the machining marks. Okay. My bad. So it's a machined piece of steel. Taper lock hub on it. I mean, that is a heavy-duty beast of a pulley, right? And I love this right here. Light duty. That made me laugh. I mean, this thing is off of an old Wisconsin engine. And so back in the day, this used to be considered light duty. That just amazes me. I mean, look at this keyway to lock the taper hub in this thing. That is a major key in there. I mean, it's light duty. Yeah. I'm beginning to think that's sarcastic. If only things were made like that today, right? Anyway, I'm not going to use this pulley. I was wanting to, but the hub is froze into this thing. I was doing some measuring on the engine pulley here. I was wanting to figure out what size that one that's on there is so I can order a pulley for the generator. I was going to go down for lunch and order all that stuff, so I had it coming. And I was looking at it, I'm like, wait a second. That bearing does not fit in that flange. And I about had a heart attack, because I'm like, when I got this at the store, I checked to make sure those flanges fit that bearing. And I got to look at it, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. These are used. You can see it definitely had been bolted on once. I was like, what the heck? Well, sitting over here on the side of my project, where I'm keeping all the parts for it, is this box. That fits much better. But here's the other problem. Those don't line up to the holes now. Oh my word. I don't know where my brain is at these days. So that scrap piece, out. I'm not going to use it. So look for a different piece to try that with. Okay, I'm going to go down for lunch, and I'm going to order some pulleys, and I need to order some end mill cutters because I was getting ready to cut the keyway in that shaft, and I realized that I don't have any 1/4 inch end mills for some reason. I thought I just ordered 2 of them. I can't find them anywhere. I can't even find my broken old ones, which I usually keep my old end mills just in case I want to make a special tool or something out of them, you know. So I don't know where my 1/4 inch end mills went to. They have just disappeared. My luck, they rolled underneath the workbench or something. My woodruff cutter is really dull, and I was going to use a 1/4 inch end mill because this length of a shaft would actually be a little bit easier, because then I could clamp down here on the shaft and cut on this side of the shaft. I thought it'd be a little bit better of a setup. I did this once, and it didn't come out right, so I'm going to do it again. But I need to come down. Okay, I got it zeroed. I'm touching the end of the woodruff cutter, so that should be 0, or close enough. So then I should come in 125 thousandths because the woodruff cutter is 250 wide. So there should be 125. Okay, that looks very close. I got the thingy marked at 25. So I should go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. Pretty close. Still on 5? Yep. I'll lock that down. I'm going to bring this up. I brought that up just a little hard, actually. Okay. And then I'm kind of eyeball it with that just to make sure. That I'm in the realm. Yeah. Okay, I think we are ready to cut. Okay, find 0 and then we'll go up from there. Oh, other way would be better. Really? Thought I was closer now. There. Alright, that's 0. Except that is moving on me. Why is the dial indicator moving? Somebody explain this to me. Ah. Okay, that ain't gonna work. Son of a diddly. See how that goes. Is it moving on me? Nope. Well, I'm getting a little bit of a line there. That's pretty close to 0 then. Alright. Okay, 0 on that dial. See if I remember which way up is now. Here we go. Oh. The end of my stroke. Can't go any further. Wow. I can actually live with that. It doesn't quite finish the cut, but that's okay. I don't need the key down there that far anyway. And let's see, backlash. That's 0. Gotta come up another 15. If I can. decided to let the tool cool down. I was even thinking about taking and honing it, trying to get it sharp again. I just don't want to wait a week to get new end mills in so I can finish this dang thing. You know, that's the kind of the corner I'm up against. I got it in here, it's in the machine. You know, I'd like to just finish it, even if it takes a little longer, going a little slower with the tool, doing a little something, and go ahead and finish it. So I let the cutter cool down. I'm going to drop it down another gear, go just a little bit slower, and my dial indicator fell off of there, so I have no clue where I'm at. So we're going to have to measure that. Alright. Looks like I got maybe one more pass here to go. So I'm going to try hoping the dial is accurate. I'm using it up here on the milling attachment. See if I can get this right. I'm just barely feeding in 10,000ths at a time on depth. Barely 10,000ths. More like 7, actually. I'm leaving a little bit down here in this corner over here on this side. Should have gone and got my DSLR camera so I could really zoom in on that. That's not a bad little trench down in there. I'll get you a close up here after a second. Just deburr that a little bit. A little more. Where's... Okay, I cut a piece of actual 1/4 inch key stock down about 1 3/4 length, and we will try this hub here. Oh, that's just, that's like a textbook fit right there, man. Yay! Even with a dull tool, I got it right. So, just slow down the speed and took my time. Yeah, it took a little longer to cut that keyway than it should have, but you know what? It's a heck of a lot better than waiting a week for, you know, new tools to come in. I can get it done tonight when I have the time to do it and play with it instead of waiting another week on this. Alright. See if I can give you a close-up here. Not too bad, even with a dull tool. As you can see down there on this side where my thumb's at, didn't quite cut that corner right. Well, actually, I guess both sides are that way. Actually, looking at this light, this side is a little more obvious. It didn't quite get over into the corner, but seems to work. The bearing slides on perfectly. That's just amazing. There's the collar for it. And then the hub. Whoops. I won't be using this hub. I'm going to buy a pulley that is one piece, a single piece pulley. Well, I'm not going to get a weld on. And that fits over that keyway just. I mean, that is just perfect. So, yeah, I am very, very happy with this shaft. That's awesome. Finally, yeah, sweet. A few lessons learned along the way. Mostly, things don't go right. And you got two choices. You can quit or you can keep at it. But I think I like the results a lot better when I keep at it. So there we go. Hopefully we'll see you all next week in another episode where I put this thing in the generator. I'm hoping. I want to see this thing in there. Spent a lot more time on this generator part of the wood chipper than I really should have, but it'll be worth it in the end, right? Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you in another episode.